Today is Saturday, February 20th. Let me make sure. Yes, 20th, 21. It is 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're doing our live sew and chat. So I'm just coming in at 9 p.m., so I'm going to give people another minute or so to get into the room while I pull you up on my phone. All right. So, yes. Hopefully, you all have been having a great weekend thus far. I've been cutting pieces. I decided instead of starting a new project to work on the border for my exploding heart quilt top. Otherwise, it'll just sit there. And I need to figure out a border also for my Cleopatra's fan quilt. That's why that's not finished yet. So just trying to figure out what I want to do with things. So, yes. Let's see. We've got Darlene Crosby saying, I'll be back at 8:08. Maddie was here early too, saying hi T and everyone. I got the thumbs up. I was not going to miss tonight. Carol Green's here saying hi T and everyone. Celia Swain's here saying hello T and fellow quilters. The world needs a big hug right now. She's got plenty of them she's passing out. Carla Ford's here. Says good evening T and everyone. Darcy Savelli is here saying hi T and everyone. Hope things are better in the South. I said another prayer for you all also. Damali J is here saying hello TNT Quilters. Prayer for Texas and anyone struggling to stay warm. Quilt Gal says hi T and everyone from cold, icy, snowy Maryland. Jill Thomas says hello everyone. Maxie Doodle says hi everyone. Good evening, Miss T. Darlene Crosby is back saying hi T and everyone. Kevin the Quilter goes, surprise! I got into my hotel in Columbus, Ohio, just in time to see my favorite scrap queen, Miss T, and have some fun with Teaquilts. Well, I'm glad you were able to make it, Kevin. Never know what's going to happen with your agenda. Let's see. Deborah Quilts is here. Hey, Deborah. She says, hi, T and all fellow quilters. Working on my last 3 bear paw blocks. It's still cold, but the sun was out today. Yes, that's a good thing. I didn't even step outside today, though. Jackie K says, hello, T and good evening to all. Enjoyed the sun all day today. Hope you all are staying warm. Blessings to Texas. Tom Eckery is here saying, hey, T and T Quilters. Deborah Sims Brown is here, says, hi, T and everyone from Cole, Maryland. Remo JS says, good evening, T and Quilters from Bowie, Maryland. And reminding everybody to also thumbs up. Thank you. Vanessa Brown says, hi, T and all T Quilters from Fayetteville, Georgia. Hi, Vanessa. I got your tracking that you sent a package to me, too. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's see. A lot of people saying hi to each other, which is great. Maria Mayer is here saying hi. Yay, and everyone. Hi, T and everyone. Got water and power. Yes. Thank you, Jesus. C-Rex says, hey, T and Quilters, got power and boiled water. Yes, got to do what you got to do. At least you got some water. I saw where people were using snow in their tubs and stuff in Texas. So, or not Texas, that was actually here in Missouri, in a rural part of Missouri, Jefferson County. They were having some issues in a particular area. Peggy S is here saying hi, everyone. Hi, Peggy. Kathy Klein's here, says hi from Central Illinois. Vicki Lemire is also saying hello. Sheila Willis says good evening, everyone, and tea. And my brother is here, Ray. He says, hi, sis and everyone. Hope everyone stays safe. And don't forget to thumbs up. Cheryl Bean says, good evening, T and everyone. Kim Burris is here. Not sure how long I can be here fighting a migraine. Oh, my gosh. Go, Kim. That is not great. I don't have migraines on the regular, but I have had headaches. And that were like severe But no, nothing is okay when you've got a migraine. So please take care of yourself. My brother told me, I see you mad, sis. What I've just been walking around the house, so I still got on my pink pajama bottoms. Ellie Scrapper says good evening, tea and all. Judy is here saying hello, tea and tea quilters. Miss Bonita Nance is here saying hello, Miss T and everyone. Lauren King says hi everyone from Dallas, Texas. Vicky said had my lower back surgery. Ouchie. Hope you feel better, Vicky. Hopefully it works. That's the main thing. Patricia Bryan here saying people boiling water. Make sure you also follow the rest of what is needed to make it drinkable. Can cause extreme health problems if not. Linda Starzinski says, hello, today is my 60th birthday. Well, happy birthday to you and welcome to the channel. I don't think I've ever seen your name before. Hopefully you have subscribed and hit that notification bell. Kathleen Champ says, hello, Miss T and Q friends, quilty friends. Peggy O'Connor is here. She says, hi, T and T quilters. Elwin McGaw is here saying, greetings, everyone. I'm so happy to get in on the live chat tonight. Well, welcome back. Sharon Lewis says, hi, T and quilters from Washington, D.C. It's cold here. And Kim also says, happy birthday to Linda. So that's sweet. What I'm basically working on is my exploding heart quilt. And I'm going to make half square triangles for the border. And since my quilt top had pieced quarter square triangles in it, so I decided instead of just making a one-piece half square triangle that I was going to make a three-piece half square triangle. So this is what I am actually sewing on tonight. Blocks. I told you all Wednesday's meeting that my post office had been closed. I went yesterday and they were still closed, although they had 2 notifications in my box that I had mail I needed to pick up. But when I rang the bell to pick up post office mail, nobody answered the door. That happened twice. So I don't understand why you putting the cards in my box if you're not going to have anybody giving me the mail. So I got 2 people at least whose blocks are just sitting there waiting for me to pick up, and I have no way of knowing who those blocks belong to. Because the post office has been closed, I have one other person, Gwen. Her block seems to be just sitting there since February 2nd, which I've been up there inquiring about, and they have no idea where her blocks are. So I have no way of knowing if it's her blocks or if it's somebody else's blocks, because I know Vanessa has mailed her blocks. And somebody else has paid for their blocks. I'm not sure of all the names right now. I'm missing the last. I think it's Carmen has paid for her blocks, but she says she was mailing them. So I don't know who blocks are at the post office. I just decided I wasn't going to go back up there today because I figured if nothing was open all week, I couldn't see them having any answers for me on a Saturday when most of the office people are out. So I'll try to go back maybe around noon or 1 p.m. on Monday maybe and see if I can get some information about how to get my post office mail. So it's all in limbo right now. Yeah, so we're going to wait on that. Let's see who else has come in. Got Tiffany's Quilting Life says happy birthday to Linda. Also Judy. Dorsey's reminding people to thumbs up everyone. And if you are new, please subscribe to T. Thank you so much, Dorsey. Cheryl's also saying happy birthday. Vicky says, I hope it works too. You got that right. And Tiffany is also reminding people that's joining to don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Hello, T and friends. Scott just yelled knowing I turned this on. Hey, Scott. I'm going backwards a little bit, guys. Diane 57 is we didn't have snow to melt. I had a few gallons of water for drinking and making tea. So, yeah. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody's comments here. Just hold on a second for me. Okay, I think I got everybody. I'm trying to just make sure I'm going back because sometimes my screen will jump on me. All right, so I'm going to go back to the bottom now. Just making sure. If I missed your comment, just go ahead and put it back in here again. Let's see. Gray's Andrade says something I can't read. And I can't read anything other than what's put in English. So I'm just gonna temporarily just hide the comment. I can't do that unless I hide the user. But we can't read anything but English on this channel, so I'm just gonna remove this comment. Sorry about that. Linda says, hopefully someone will be at post office to give you packages. Try emailing postmaster to see if you can make an appointment. I tried even calling the actual post office and nobody is even answering that phone. So I don't know if it's only just the mail carriers are working, but I'm like, somebody has to be sorting mail if I got a notification that I have a new package. But nobody is answering the phones, and even online it still says that the post office is open because I didn't want to go back again. I had made a trip Tuesday and Wednesday and they were closed. And so before I went on Friday, I went online to see if online was saying that the office was closed due to internet being down, and there was nothing online. So I go up there again because I had packages to mail, and there was nobody there. So I have not even been leaving any more packages there because I don't know if they're processing mail or not. So I've been going to another place. I've been going to a different place. I'm trying to figure out why did Diane. Yeah, I think Tiffany unhid her, but I think she just accidentally blocked your comment. So, and I think Tiffany has unhidden you, Robin. So sorry about that. I think it was just accidents. Kevin, wait, Robin must have been hacked or something. She is a regular here. Hello, everyone from Claudette Bettis. Hi, Claudette. Welcome. And Deborah says, I haven't had mail for 4 days. Now, I have been getting mail in my house, which is strange. I have been getting that, but I have not been getting anybody at the post office. So, just kind of strange. So, I don't know when I'm ever going to get mail. I just can't believe that the post office internet has been out this long either. Hi, Leetta Bryan. She says, hi, TNT Quilters. So basically, I'm just going to be, I wanted to sew something simple I didn't have to think about while also being productive because I forget that I have things I need to work on without actually starting another project. And so that's what we're going to do today. I'm just going to make some half square triangles here. And then I don't even have enough cut, I think, for the entire quilt because I haven't even counted how many I need. I know I'm going to need over 200. And I cut around 208. Did I cut 200? Maybe 108. Something, 104 maybe. I don't know. So I'm sure I'm going to need more pieces, but I just went through my fabrics and cut some scraps from what I used in my quilt. And so that's where we're going to start. Also, tell me what you all are working on. Love to know what's going on in your quilting room. Cheryl Frankshire says, hey, T and Quilt family. Hello, welcome back, Cheryl. Kathleen says, hello to everyone she missed, and she's laughing. Teresa Zukowitz is here. Um, other people are just saying hi to everybody else. And Diane said it wasn't oopsie. I know it. Believe me, I do it all the time. I don't take it personal the first time. So, uh, yep, it's real easy to have that screen pop up and you don't even know it, and your hands just doing all kinds of stuff. And Cheryl sends hearts. So basically, I'm just sewing quarter square triangles together right now to make a half square piece, because I want to make 3-piece half square triangles for those that are just coming in. This is what I'm going to be making for the border. And I was going to do just half square, but since these were 4 inches, I thought they were kind of big and they were kind of plain looking with 2 fabrics. So I decided to go ahead and add another print in just to keep it interesting. Plus, I've used this shape already within the quilt top. So it's just repeating one of my shapes. I think I got enough pieces that I can do my 2 sides. And then I may have to cut more pieces when I get to the top and bottom borders. But I got to start. I got over about 55 fabrics or so that I pull from. So lots of different fabrics. Lots of comments here. Bonita says, I need to be working on a block. I'm chilling instead. That's how it always is. It's like when I know I should be doing something, when other stuff has stressed me so bad and I know I should be doing something else, I still just sit there and do nothing. I ended up getting the snow off the deck. I got this huge deck outside and we had over 6 inches of snow, and it was a heavy snow too, and I just decided I didn't want it to ruin the finish completely on my deck. So I went out there and pushed all of that off the deck. That was about 2 hours later. I thought I was only going to do like part of it and then go back in the house and do part of it. But once I got started, I was like, I'm just going to get this done because I'm not coming back out here. Kevin says, Miss T's knows opposites. Right, Teresa? Oh, knows oopsies. Wrong, Teresa. Kevin, why you trying to tell a joke? Wrong, Teresa. June says, putting binding on wall hanging, finishing up a couple of UFOs. Lietta is finished the Valentine's quilt for my sister. Robin says, I have not been here. I've had COVID relapse. Oh my gosh. I didn't think you could get it twice, especially that fast. And then she says, it ended up in the hospital again. Oh my goodness. So sorry to hear that. Linda says, manual cut or did you use a cutting machine? I'm trying to do the stitching for Sunbonnet Sue block of the month. I have all the blocks and backing. I cut these with my die cutting machine with the AccuQuilt Go system. I don't cut manually anymore unless it's like 1 or 2 blocks I need and it's not worth it for me to pull out my equipment, or to my one piece, my studio one stays out all the time. But if it's something sitting on it and I need a couple of half square triangles, I'll go ahead and just cut them. But for the most part, I use my die cutting system. And now that I've got the Go Me, it's even better because I can just swap it out right here on this desk and do all the cutting I need and just put it right back up. So I hardly ever rotary cut anything that I've got a die cut shape for. Die cutting system costs a lot of money, so if you're gonna buy one, you need to use it. And my ends are nice and blunt, so I don't have to worry about dog ears and all that kind of stuff. Pieces are matching up appropriately, and all I have to do is just sew them together. Jackie says, just finishing the binding on a Scrappy Crazy quilt. You all know I still got my quilts from October and November that don't even have the binding on them, all because I need quilt labels. So I need to sit down and get some quilt labels made. I keep saying that, but don't do it. On one quilt, I got the binding sewed, hand sewed to the back, but I had to stop because I need to put the label on it. So I'm almost finished with one. But I got about maybe 3 or 4 quilts that need to be finished just because of binding and a label. Deborah says, I put the light on my sewing machine that you gave me. Wow, it makes a big difference. Yes, it does. I don't know why you didn't before. And Deborah's, I want to know, I got in my box this little thing here I got from Deborah. Look at this. For Christmas. I got this for Christmas with some candy. And I'm going to assume that Deborah made this. I'm sure she did. She crochets. And it's this little hat. It's really cute, but it's actually a covering a tape measurer. It's pretty cute. And then it goes back in. You can still push on the bottom. But isn't that cute? Can't see it right there. I'll sit it right here. But that's cute. I'm so far behind in comments now. Carolyn Bowser is here, says, I finally finished my pineapple quilt. It was truly a beauty after I finished. Yes. I thought about bringing my pineapple out too, the one that I did using Guyleen Fitzgerald's method. But I decided that doing these blocks would be even easier. So that's what we're working on today. Deborah says, I am sewing half square triangles for my Stronger Together quilt. Pretty cool. Doing the same thing. Kathleen says, oh, my Robin, I pray you're healing on every level. Darlene also says, oh, Robin, I hope you're better now. I had COVID in November. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. And I was trying not to cut on this fan because my feet were cold earlier when I first came in here. Now I'm hot. Let me drink some cold water. Patricia says, I have 2 quilt tops that I have to quilt. One in the next 3 weeks, and then another the next month. Then a third by July. That hasn't even been started. So, no sweat, right? Ha ha ha, yes. I got 3 t-shirt quilts I got to make by July that I haven't even started because I'm like, I have no long arm anyway. So I'm like, don't pull out anything else. Try to make stuff. Try to get done some of the stuff I got to get done that's already out. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. Tiffany says, sorry, my daughter just came, so I missed chat. Damali saying, Robin, glad you're back in prayers. Linda, Robin, I hope you are so much better and don't relapse again. Guys, I don't know what happened to my little mic cover, but it's lost. It's gone right now. So If you're hearing back noise, just let me know. June says, I finished and gifted my great nephew's quilt for his birthday today. That's awesome. I'm sure he loved it. Ellie says, setting up video equipment so I can start back doing tutorials. That's nice. Cheryl says, I'm taking a break from sewing blocks for my butterfly quilt. Darlene says, I'm working on binding for 3 quilts. Darcy says, I like the new way to make half square triangles when you need a lot of them. I'm pretty sure you can look online and see how to do it. I just like die cutting mine. That's fast for me because I don't have to worry about dog ears. They're all gone. They're going to measure up. They're perfect. So that's what I do. I don't do any of the other methods. I do know that there are about a gazillion ways you can make a half square triangle. And so you have to do whichever way you're comfortable with and the one that's best for your technique. If I only need 2 half square triangles, I would approach it differently than if I need 400 half square triangles. So there is a big difference in the number you need as well. Rima says, just finished making a seafood shepherd's pie and homemade rolls. It's cold here. Robin says, I'm better. Going to try sewing tomorrow. I miss sewing. Yes. Peggy says, oh no, Robin, hope you're feeling better now. I'm thinking. That sounds delicious, Remo, from Kevin. Remo says, thumbs up. We support tea. Thank you so much. Patricia says, can anyone tell me which machine brand is the most quiet? Looking for a different machine that isn't so noisy. I'll let them give you those referrals. Kevin says, I just wish I was sewing. Didn't bring a sewing machine this work trip. Too short of layovers. Russia says, I still wish I had the space for that AccuQuilt thing. Betsy is here. She says, rough translations of Gray. She says, thank you for sharing your projects from Colombia. Blessings for all questions. I'd like to look the tutorial of maze. Thank you. Have a good weekend with lots of success. And I don't know what maze she's talking about. So I just delete what I can't understand and read. I just delete. I knew it probably wasn't anything obscene, but I don't know that since the chat will not let us translate. We can only accept comments in English. So sorry about that. Thank you, Betsy. Jennifer Mizard's here. Hi, Jennifer. She says, I'm living vicariously through all you quilters. Keep sewing for me while this broken arm mends. And that's why I was laughing, because Jennifer posted in the Facebook group. It's not funny, but she's still cute. And she posted in there that she had broken her arm. And so she's kind of out of commission right now, unless she learns how to work with her left hand, I guess. But in some things of quilting, you need both hands. So I don't think she's going to be doing much. But hopefully you'll be healing well, as Jennifer, that it won't take as long as they say, hopefully. Kevin also says, sorry about your arm. Slowing down. Joe is here, says hello, tea and all. And Diane saying, thank you for your prayers, everyone. Remo says, the go folds up takes less room. Welcome to all joining the live from Tiffany. Thank you. Dorothy says, hey, T, I got the message you sent me about sending my free gift with my 23 squares. Yes. And that's because I kept emailing you trying to get your address before your blocks had arrived. And they never came up. And so since my post office is acting real crazy, I don't really want to put anything in the post office, and I don't have anything to package. So I'll just save it. I've already put it in your envelope, so you'll be getting it. Deborah Quilt says, yes, I made that for you. The hat is a pin cushion, and the bottom is the cover tape measure. Yes, because I saw that I could put pins in it. That is, you know, it squashes down here. Yes. I thought she had made it. My friend makes all kinds of stuff. Well, it is really cute. Hold on, I lost my spot. Jennifer looking for Deborah Quilts. There it goes. And Judy says, Deborah Quilts, that's adorable. Love it. Claudette says, working on string quilt from the fabric I got from you. Claudette was one of those that won. I think that was one that somebody won it and didn't take it. I think it was Pamela won it, and then Claudette was the next one to get pulled. So that was really lucky. I think she got a whole medium-sized priority mailbox of scraps. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Diane says, please pray for Vicky Lemire. She had back surgery. We have been praying for Vicky. She has told us before, and we also is hoping that her healing is, praying that her healing is successful as well. Jennifer says, I need lefty lessons, T. That is funny. Prayers and swift healing for Jennifer as well. That is too funny. Cheryl Clute says, hello to everyone. Hey, Cheryl, and welcome. Tiffany says, I sold a quilt. Woohoo, just seen it now looking at my email. So, yes. So, we're going to go ahead and finish these pieces I got here. Maybe push this up here so I can see it a little bit, so I don't get too far behind, but I know I will. I can't sew over here and look at the phone at the same time, that's for sure. Molly says, I got a singer and a brother, new, but they were quiet at first. Now, after years, they are a little loud. And Molly, you may want to try taking it in and get it serviced, because it could be some areas where it needs to be oiled or lubricated. There's a big difference between oil and lubrication, and maybe that's why it's loud too. This Bernina just wants a lot of oil. I oiled it before I started sewing on top, but I didn't oil the bottom because I didn't change my bobbin. I only oil that when I change my bobbin. So Berninas require a lot of oil. And a special type of oil, not regular sewing machine oil either. So, and you definitely have to take it in every year to get it serviced so they can oil the other points, lubricate the other points as well. So I don't know how many of these I sent through. I had 52 fabrics, but then I found some more left over from when I pieced my blocks together for the inside of the quilt. So I did those too. So I have no idea how many I've just made here. So and we'll start pressing these so I can add the white square. $88 people, 54 thumbs up. That's Darcy. She's saying, come on now, come on. I see 93 people in the chat. So hopefully everybody is doing well. I agree with T. Take it in to be serviced. It may be full of fuzz you can't get to. Yes. I think, we can clean certain parts of our machines. And if you don't take off the covers and clean your machine, then you should take it to somebody that's going to do it. On even the old machines, the Singer Featherweights, they got so many places that you need to oil that I lose count trying to count the things. And so I have a guy that would do it for $50 or less. And so I just take it to him. He can be bothered with it for $50. It's got too many spots. It's ridiculous. Don Cunningham is here, says, hey T, did you come on late? I checked earlier and didn't see you. I came on exactly at 9 p.m. Don. I was here. Don't know what happened. We haven't lost power yet. Had one on my machine already. Dennis M is here. Says, good evening, everybody. Sorry I'm late. No problem. Welcome back, Dennis. Glad your partner is doing better as well. I wasn't expecting to see you tonight or read your comment tonight. I feel like I can see you guys because I'm talking to you, so. Molly says, thanks, T. I'm going to have to wait until warm weather for service maintenance. Yes. Wintertime is when people are normally sewing and there are not as many machines in the shop. If you wait till the summertime, it may be even more machines and you have a longer wait. It just depends on your area. That's how our area is. It's best to take your machines in the winter months because that's when people are sewing. And then in the summer, everybody stops sewing because it's too hot to be inside. The weather's too great, or they're taking travel trips. And so then there are lots of machines in the shops here. Diane says, my alarm went off at 9 p.m. and T was on. Yes, I came on exactly at 9 because I was trying to get myself situated. So I didn't even come on a few minutes early. Linda says, my machine is in the shop and it's a 2-week wait. Yes. But when it's in the summertime, it could be over a month. I've had my machine in one time, it was 3 months. And I didn't really care because I always have other machines. But it was when I had put in my baby lock once. It was in there for 3 months. And I had to end up calling them because I think if I hadn't called them, they probably would have just kept it saying, oh, she hasn't bugged us about it. So we'll just go ahead and keep going. But, you have people in the shops where certain people come in, they'll put their machines before yours. So if your machine isn't done at a time you think it should be done, I most definitely say call them so that they know that you're waiting on your machine and they can't just keep putting people before yours. So, because sometimes they do that. They have the people that come in and talk to them like me. I go in and talk to them. I take them sweets and stuff, and you get your stuff done. But they also know that I got more than one sewing machine. But whenever I have an emergency or something, then they assist me right away, though. So you got to take care of your repair shop as well. Deborah says, just finished my last block now to figure out the setting triangles and corner triangles. Setting triangles and corner triangles. I told you that already. I had to think about what she was talking about. She's working on a bear paw quilt. Don says $50 service fee is a good price. It's about $200 to take a baby lock. Yes, it is. And the reason why I said $50 for the featherweight, that's because it is not a computerized machine. Those prices are the same thing that's going up here. It's whenever it's computerized system, it does cost a lot of money to have it serviced. You are absolutely correct. That's Dawn. Jackie says, T, are you pressing your seams open? Yes, I am. I'm just a glutton for punishment. Whenever I'm making half square triangles and they have the possibility of meeting in corners or anything like that, then I do press my seams open. And these blocks are going to be twisted and turned some kind of way into a border. So I am pressing the seams open ahead of time so that I won't have bulk all going to one side if I do not press them open. Darcy says you could bring it when you're going on vacation. Mathematician, you wouldn't miss it as much. Yeah, she's talking about taking the machine in doing vacations, I guess. I haven't taken a vacation since, well, 2000 I didn't go, and won't be going this year either. My husband and I miss it, but we ain't interested in getting on any planes right now. So and then Dorsey says, I have no clue where mathematician came from. I was trying to figure out where it come from myself. That is funny. I'm trying to decide what color to use for those pieces. Okay. So she's trying to figure out what color. Okay. It's like I already gave her the measurements for that. Diane says, Linda, don't you have a backup machine? You really need a basic machine for when yours is in the shop or out of whack. Diane say, what's a vacation? You got that right. I haven't been anywhere since retreat last year in February of 2020. And that was here in St. Louis area, but at least I was away from the home. But yeah, no such luck. Haven't been anywhere in a public setting like that. Grocery store and post office and getting gas, and that's it. Kevin says, yeah, I'm not interested in getting on any planes, but if I want a paycheck, you got that right. Cook Gal says, I called my Amish man and set up a time and drop off, and it came back in a couple of hours, and come back in a couple of hours to pick it up. He lives in Lancaster County, and I never had any problems because I set up like 2 weeks. Well, we don't have that luxury here in Missouri, or not in the area that I'm in anyway. We used to have people, it was a lot more people that worked in the sewing machine repair industry, and now they've kind of cracked down on it that if you're not affiliated with, say, Baby Lock or like the companies, then they don't train you to fix these machines. So there isn't any general training on sewing machine maintenance anymore because they're trying to keep it all dealership based. Do you have a backup? Otherwise, I insist. Yes, I do have a backup. Otherwise, I would insist on it being fixed while I wait. I have a bit over an hour drive. Okay. That's Linda. Cool Gal says, I know I'm spoiled where I live. You got that right. I wish I had some Amish around here to do some work. Put this on so I can get this other one off. Nita Henderson says proprietary information. The dealers don't want just anyone being able to repair their product, just like Apple. And I know, and that changed because it used to not be like that, but that completely changed. And that also that change also came with the computerization of machines too. Um, before basic service was no big deal. So you don't want somebody going in there that hasn't been trained, mucking around with your computer system. So I can understand to a certain extent. But like it used to could be that you could take a class and be certified. But if you're not affiliated with a dealership that sells those machines, you're not going to receive that training now. It's not an open training anymore. Got two more, I think, to press open. And then I can shoot these through and see how many of them I have. Although I'm going to need a lot. No need in counting at this point, for real. Just keep making them. This is probably, it might be enough for one side of the quilt, considering that I added other pieces too. But it's not enough to do both left and right, that's for sure. All right. So I got these. This white tone on tone. I'd rather just turn them while I can see them in a particular area so I can get them all right side up. Then they start to look alike, look like they're right side up later. Okay, we'll start with this. Those planes have the smallest seats. How do you expect people to practice social distancing on airplanes is beyond me. Yep, I flew Spirit Airlines once, and I swear I'm never doing it again. Those are the smallest seats I've ever seen in my life. My knees touched the backrest before the person even let it down and laid it back. And of course, they laid it back. So, yeah, I will never do Spirit Airlines again. It's real difficult because not many airlines, go out the country. When you're going out the country, depending on where you're going, only certain airlines go that way. So it's a pain in the butt. But if I can't get on any other airline, I won't be going on Spirit. I can tell you that. That was horrible. My knees never hurt so bad. Let me pull this back up here. It could be a small one. I live in Minnesota, and we could just drive to Mount Rushmore or something like that on a long weekend. It would at least get you out of the house for a little while. Um, Tiffany is saying, don't forget you can share your projects with T and the Teaquilts community in the Facebook group. So she's got it up there for you guys. Thank you, Tiffany. There is no one up here to fix sewing machines. Wow. Now that's bad. And I saw where somebody else said they had to drive an hour. I drive an hour just because I go to a particular place. But I do have one that's close to me. I may try them out because they just got a new person. I didn't go to them before because they would take your machines and have them shipped somewhere else. Not shipped like out of town, but somebody else would come pick them up and take them somewhere else. And I don't like for my machines to travel. I want to take my machine and I want to pick it up because I don't want anything happening to my machine because you didn't take care of it the way I take care of it when I bring it out. So I don't want anybody traveling with my machine. Don't forget to vote for Tiffany's quilt. I'm actually keeping up with the comments as I'm sewing. I'm doing pretty good tonight. And then I say that, and y'all gonna go crazy in the comment section. um, I usually have my husband take my vintage machine apart and clean them, but my newer machine gets to go to the shop. Yes. And I'm still waiting for my motor box to be delivered to Quilt Easy too. So that's gonna be a minute. And that's because of the slow mail system with the snow. It was already slow, and then the snow all over the country didn't help. So I only made 80 of the light half square triangles. So I might run out of those before I even. Well, I am gonna run out of these before I run out of these. So it'll be okay. Just cutting more fabric, right? I started with like 6 yards of this light fabric. I might end up running out. I may not have enough to put my spacer border. I may have to use a different tone on tone. But I don't think it'll be a problem because most tone on tones, when you stand back off of them, they look the same anyway. That's why I don't make scrappy quilts with scrappy tone on tones. A whole bolt of uncut fabric counts as a done quilt. Laughing out loud. My Amish guy is an hour, 30 minutes for me, but lots of fabric shops to go to. That's good. So you can just kind of wait, shop, and chill out, have fun. I miss what you're working on. I'm actually working on a border for my exploding heart quilt. Decided to add a piece border to make it bigger. Cheryl, I was talking to Patricia. Vanessa says the touchscreen on my Janome was broken and 2 dealers would not touch it. I found a repair shop in California that ordered the screen and I replaced it myself. That's a shame. That's a shame. Let's see. Joanne says, good evening, T and everyone. How are you all doing tonight? I finished my homework and so happy I caught y'all tonight. Yay, I think you're almost finished, right? This is your last semester, I'm thinking. Somebody's asking for a link to vote for Tiffany's quilt or something. I can't, Judy Smith says, hi, T and all. Just popping in for a minute, then off to bed. I wasn't on Eastern time zone. Yeah, I do know it's late for the Eastern people. We didn't get Eric in here tonight either. All the stuff going on now in the world, and then my own personal issues with my machine and stuff like that. I haven't been sleeping anyway, so I have been making myself relax though. Like I just sit there and don't do anything and not get up every time and start sewing or doing something. I still need to do my income taxes. Just the thought of that is like, oh my gosh. But I do need to do that. I need to get started. Let's see. I'm sure Eric is fine. Diane saying, I hope Eric is okay. Sure, Eric is fine. Eric might be throwing a solo party. Maddie says, T, I watched a video of you doing a scrap quilt. I think it was scrap and it was good. Thank you. I don't know which one because I've done so many videos. And most of my projects are scrappy, so. All right, I still got a few more here to go. Uh-oh, that one needs to be cut apart. Have to feel which side has the paint on it. All right. Got about I don't know, 10 more. I don't even know how many I had in this stack because I added to it. So 65 maybe. So maybe I'll have 65 half square triangles somewhere around there when I'm done. I'll give you a thumbs up, T. Have fun. Everyone, good night. Bye, Judy. Thanks for popping in. Maddie says, it would take me a while to cut those. I do need a cutting machine. Yeah, it would take me a while to cut them too. If I had to make this many half square triangles, I would do it paper piecing style because I can still cut off my dog ears while it's flat. I would do it paper piecing style because I've got the papers you can put on top of fabric and just sew on the lines. I can print however many I need. But if I can cut fabric and then once I sew it, I'm done, I can do that too. I know I'm going to need probably about 500 of these for the border, somewhere around there. I don't know. Let's see. Well, 500 of the two-piece triangles, like the quarter square triangles. I need about 500 of those because it's going to take me about 125 or so half square triangles, something like that. It's going to be a lot. I haven't even counted. I just know I need a lot. I needed something to sew. So I decided to start sewing and I can count later. So sad we're going to get another 2 to 4 inches of snow tomorrow. Yuck. Very tired of winter. Yes, we're going to get more snow this week too. So it is what it is. But in Missouri, we haven't had a really bad snow period in years. So we were long overdue. We'll get 1 or 2 bouts of snow so far apart, you forget that it even happened. So, yeah. Just cut this apart. And another batch of triangles so I can get my current batch off. All right, I got plenty to work with here. See, how many can you cut at a time? It depends if I got a studio. It depends on what you're cutting, how many cuts are on the die itself, and then how many shapes are on that die. So if I'm cutting with an AccuQuote Go system, it will cut 6 layers of fabric. If it has one shape on the die, then you can only cut 6 at a time. But if it's one of those dies that have 12 pieces on the die, then you can cut 72 pieces at one time. So it just depends on the die you have, the system, and how many cuts are on each particular die board, and they're all different. When I use my studio system, it cuts up to 10 layers if it's a studio die. So if it's got multiple shapes on it, I multiply it times 10, depending on which board it is. If I'm cutting squares or half square triangles or quarter square triangles, and it's got 10 or 12 pieces on it, if it's got 12, I can cut 120 half square triangles at a time. So it just depends on what your multiples, how many you have on the die to cut. You can only cut at one time the maximum number of layers allotted. And then if you're using like flannels or denim, then all of that changes. Or if you've got fusible web on the back of something, then you're counting the fusible as a half layer. So it just depends. All done. And I'm not even gonna worry with those. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and sew more pieces. Let me see. Y'all got stuff coming through here now. Linda says off to sleep. Up early for work. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Good night. Good night, Linda. And June says watching the news. Lots of companies are sponsoring stuff. Billy Weathery is here. She says hello, everyone. Hi, Billy. June. Joanne says June. We're in Maryland and had that in ice and are due to get more bad weather Monday night or so. Tiffany entered her Dresden unicorn I made in 219 and entered in a show in 219. It's purple, white, and black. Hold on. June says, oh, Gramps is here saying, hello, Miss T. Louisiana is still down. Wow. I hadn't been hearing a whole lot about them, but I haven't been watching a whole lot of the news either. I try to watch it, and then I look up and I pass the time the news came on, so. What size cube from AccuQuilt do you use the most? That's Quilt Gal. Probably the most useful one to me would be the 8-inch cube. But the problem with the 8-inch cube is that if you want the companion pieces, they've been out of stock for over 6 months now. And I asked them about it, but they just say, we'll let you know when it's back. No clue of when it's coming back or whatever. And the reason why I say that is because in an 8-inch cube, your pieces finishes at 4 inches, and so you can make 12-inch blocks if it's a 9-patch. Most of your quilt blocks, your standard quilt blocks, came out in 9-patch formation, and they were 4-inch sections, rather. Tiff's quilt is beautiful. Maddie says, I need to watch your videos on cutting. That's good cutting. I need to do some updated videos because I think the one that I have on die cutting for the most part is one where I was showing you how I was cutting my scraps into strips and squares at the same time. But I do need to do more. I said I was going to go borrow a friend's Go machine because I got the other ones and do a comparison on machines. And then actually roll fabric through them so you can see the difference of how you actually use them. Not just show them, but also use them. So. Billy says it's thawing out here some. Yeah, I think we've got the calm before the next storm here in St. Louis. I was so glad I pushed the snow off yesterday because with the sun out today, I have nothing on my deck now, so that was pretty cool. Where can one see Tiffany's quilts online? They had a link up above, Dennis, for you to look at that. I might be getting that part mixed up. I want to sew, but I don't want to sew with my brother machine. I hope the part for my Juki comes in this week and isn't held up by mail issues. Nighty night, Miss T and Teaquilts, Philadelphia awaits me tonight, tomorrow. Good night, Kevin. See ya. Thank you for popping in here. I know you good and tired by now. Oops. This is not the same fabric, but it's so similar. It looks like the same fabric, so I won't sew that together. Similar red tone on tones. Nita says, I would sew on whatever was available to me, even if it meant I had to start with another project. Laughing out loud. Yeah, I'm trying not to. Well, I'm trying to. If I start a project, I'm trying to finish it. So that's why I came back to finishing this project because I'm like, don't start another project yet when you need borders on other quilts. I just hadn't decided what I wanted to do. So that's why I have not done it. But I'm just making myself sew something. And I can design the border later. Half square triangles can do all kinds of things. So uh I normally do too, Nita, but I am too used to the fast Juki. My brother is less than a Pinto. Yeah, I felt like my baby lock, it sewed slower than my singers did. But I like the way it sewed, so I just put up with it. Yeah, some machines just sew faster than others, so. All right. So I know that was another 52 triangles, so that's another 26 half. So we'll just stop there. It's only 10:15. Got 45 more minutes with you guys. I don't know what's going on with Darcy's keyboard. I go R to get T to G. That's how it works some days. T, do you think we could oil our featherweight machines? I have watched some videos on them. Yes, you can oil them if you want to do it. And I just would pause the video at that point. The featherweight shop has some very good machine videos on oiling. You just need to pause the machine and then make sure that you cover your workspace with something, so if you get oil drops, because you're going to be oiling at the top and then you're going to be tossing your machine to the side so you can oil from the bottom. So you just got more places. You've got, it's so many places to oil. It's just a lot, but it can be done. And it's only because if I'm taking another machine, I'll go ahead and take it. But I had my machine serviced last year because I was going to allow somebody to sew on it at retreat that we did not have. And so I have not sewn on my featherweight. So I'm going to have to go in there and oil it before I can even sew on it, because you're supposed to oil it at least every 6 months if you're barely using it. And if you're using it a lot, you need to oil it a lot more than that. So I definitely need to oil that machine before I use it again. And so I will be one of those people that are looking at the video just so I can oil. I'm not going to do anything with the lubrication because I feel like it still should be, the lubricant should be there because it's thick, since I haven't sewed on it at all. But I will be oiling it. Let me go back. Nita says, I hear you. I just do my best with whatever I have. Sometimes that is only my hands. um, on the featherweight shops, on their video for oiling the featherweight, they have one where they even have the markings. His son painted them in orange so that they really show up on camera, so you're not guessing where you're oiling either. So to me, that's the best oiling video because you can see every spot. Deborah says, I have to rip my sewing apart and redo, so I'm going to say good night. Oh my gosh. Good night, Deborah. Take care. If I have any ripping on like my projects like this, I do the ripping before I leave my room, because otherwise I'm not inclined to come back. I don't want to come back if I got something negative to do. So hopefully you get it taken care of. Jackie says, good night, everyone. Time for bed. See you all on Wednesday. Good night, Jackie. Thanks for coming. I am all cozied up in my PJs with an electric blanket, so I am with you there. Way too cold to get out from under the covers. Tiffany's machine, it broke the thread guide, so it's tangling and breaking. Okay. That's from that super duper speed that girl go at. So hopefully your part will come in. It won't be a problem. Cool Gal says more snow for her on Monday too, 1.5 to 3 inches. I was waiting until tomorrow to see what they actually forecast because they keep changing it all the time. So I'll pay attention tomorrow to see what our forecast is for the rest of the week. Amelia Rubio says, thank you for keeping me company while I sew. Always enjoy seeing you. Well, thank you. I have a large family. My sister's name is Amelia. I like when I see my family names in the comments. It's pretty cool. And she hated her name growing up, but now she loves it. We used to call her by her, well, we still call her by her middle name. I had to get going. I accidentally took my meds. Oh, okay. Good night, Darcy. I think she's saying she's got to go. Her typing is messed up. Don't know what's going on with that. Jill Thomas is here. Said just put away my project and now my feet are up and enjoying your live. You want to come do some pressing? I need my friend Deborah over here. She loves iron. Put her to work. Tiffany asking, "Are you okay, Darcy? Darcy took. I don't know what's going on with Darcy's keyboard. I'm wondering if Darcy fell asleep on the keyboard or something." And get rain tomorrow with a high of 40 for the rain. Will come in around 3 or 4 o'clock the rest of the week. Look good on Monday. 58 Tuesday. Hey, oh, okay, so we got some good days. Okay, that's pretty cool. We just got some rain with it. Okay. That's cool. Thanks, brother. He's been paying attention. I think Darcy fell asleep on her keyboard. Jill says we need to send Iron Man over to help you iron, T. You got that right. It's having a typing fit. I do think Darcy is fell asleep. Darcy will get me a lot of YouTube. I'll get kicked up in the YouTube algorithms for all of her comments, right? You got to look at it from the positive at this point. Is she maybe falling asleep from Nita? Jill, I wish I could send him to help all quilters. Got that right. Help everybody out. Ray and I are watching the news. Got that right. Because he's giving me the forecast. Thank you, sir, though, because I keep missing it. I tried to watch it yesterday and missed it. I didn't even try today. People laughing at Darcy. She gonna get it bad on the next live. That is too funny. Joanne Parker, that's what I think. Darcy must have fallen asleep. Yes. We'll see if we hear from her anymore tonight. Dorsey come back. Soon as I say that, it goes, can't see, going to sleep. Good night. Good night, Dorsey. That is funny. Don says, so AccuQuilt came out with two new applique dyes. Do you know when they are coming out with some others? No, they don't actually tell us what and when they're coming out with new stuff. They're constantly coming out with new dyes. At least once a month, you're going to get some new dyes. But they never tell us what it is. We're in the dark as well. I think the only people that know what the dyes are the people that actually make the projects that they show. And that's it. And the people that, of course, that works for AccuQuilt. But they don't tell any of the affiliates what that is. Because I don't actually sew for them. I guess I could sign up for that, but I got my own stuff to do. I didn't want to add something else to my agenda. So I won't be sewing for AccuQuilt. I personally didn't like their dyes. The coffee cup thing was okay if you got people that drink coffee, but most of the applique dyes, I just have no use for. Most of them. Here around Dallas, Texas, it's been hell froze over. Thank God for grown sons to fix water pipes. So glad it's warming up. Yes. And you would think with all the people in Texas that it wouldn't been that bad, that their systems would have been upgraded. It's very strange. Um, Diane knows she's silly. To my Dorsey, if you need help, type H. And Maddie goes, Diane 57, you're funny. uh, Diane Don says, with an embroidery machine, it's cheaper for me to buy designs in the hoop instead of a die. Yes, for applique. And here's the tricky part. They give you the appliques for free. So the nice thing about having a die is if you're going to make something 50 times, you don't have to cut it out. But it's not saying that you can't cut it out. So all you got to do for applique dies is really download the free embroidery design and you can make it anyway. So you don't even have to buy that die. Especially if it's a die you're not going to use often. See, I downloaded the applique ones. I didn't even download the other one. I can't remember what it was now because I just wrote it off. But I did download the embroidery files in case I want to do it. But I don't need the die for that. I'll just trim it out in the hoop. I think their building codes don't require insulation. That needs to be changed. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what's happening. And that probably is because it was so far south. I can understand why. But yeah. Diane with the jokes. Tiffany's typing an H, Diane. She says, can you come help me too? That is funny. All right. One last one to open up. I still didn't count them. It doesn't matter. I need a lot more. So we don't normally deal with those temps, right? just put those to be earned, and we'll cut these off. Oops. Somebody got quiet in the chat again. Did anybody doze off? It got quiet over here too. I realized it was quiet, but I just didn't have anything to say. For real, I'm not. I might seem like I'm a social bug, but I'm really a loner for real. For real, I can spend a lot of time by myself. So Jill says that T, do you have a finished block that you can hold up? I was listening earlier, not watching. I'm just making half square triangles, but instead of just because this is a 4-inch finished square, I didn't want just one fabric. So I'm just using a 3-part triangle, but basically making half square triangles. So like that. So I don't know yet how I'm gonna design my border, but I just know that I didn't want to have just one print on the other side. The white didn't matter because it's just a tone on tone white and it wasn't gonna make any difference. But for my prints, I wanted to add more color in. Tiffany says, I'm a loner too, well, minus the bugging husband. It's like I could spend hours by myself and don't even miss people. I also, when I was growing up, I used to read a book a day. So I really had no use for people. People were interrupting what I was trying to do. So I'm really a loner. It's just that I just know how to get along in social settings, shall I say. I agree that we should have been more prepared. I blame it on our governor and senator. I think they were late even looking at y'all systems for the I don't know what they do, like some kind of cleanup of your systems before winter hits, and they were like a couple of months late doing that or something. So I think that was part of the problem, doing routine maintenance. Tiffany goes, ooh, pretty. Those aren't even my favorite fabrics. They just happen to be on top of the stack. But once I get them going, they'll be very jewel tone brights. These look a little bit pastel on here. But once everything gets mixed in, like you can see the difference in color here. So they'll be more jewel tone overall. Because that's how my heart quilt looks. I'm just getting pieces ready. Oh, Nita says when it's quiet. So that is when you know that the company is good. When the room grow quiet and it's still all good. Cheryl says I'm just listening and reading. Hard to hold and type with one hand. Yeah, sometimes the chat comments fly by if you're reading the comments. And then you have to, scroll back so you can see some. I'm in the scroll back mode right now. So I'm sure I'm not too far behind, but I never know. I'm 3 minutes behind in chat comments. And Diane 57 saying she's a loner too. Cool Girl says I'm just listening to the snip of every block. Yeah, that was kind of making a neat little noise. It was good for I forget what you call it now, where you just do noise videos of particular things. Maddie says I just watch and listen. I love to be alone. My hubby has to drag me out of the house. Yes, and that's what Kevin's been doing because I can stay in the house and Kevin's the one that drags me out because I can just stay right here. I got everything I need. Then, of course, when I go out, he makes me spend money. We were talking about meeting up to go to Red Lobster one day. That'll be for the donations that you all made. Take him to Red Lobster. That's where he wants to go. And I haven't been to Red Lobster in a long time because, well, way before the pandemic, even maybe a year or two before. And that's because my husband doesn't eat any seafood. So if it's just he and I, it's like he's who goes to Red Lobster and then orders grilled chicken, or a hamburger, So it's like you just stay at home. Go to Red Lobster and get the seafood. Oh my gosh. Diane says the senator left the country. God. Dang. Um, and Carl Green says, I too am an introvert. See, it's a lot of us. I can talk and can talk a lot, but I just prefer not to. And that's when it's really noticeable is when I get around a lot of people and a lot of people are communicating. I don't compete to talk. I just let them talk. I used to ride my bike around all alone growing up. I just liked being outside with the breeze in my face and nobody to tell me where to ride or distract me while riding. Those were the days when you used to could just ride your bike. I used to ride my bike from the city into the county. My sister lived in the county when we were growing up. And I did it as a kid, major roads and everything. Now you can't do that. Not as a kid. So I got all of those done too. Let's see. Nita says, I had the same outlook as a child. My favorite place to go was the local library. I could spend the whole day there just reading. Yes, that was my favorite place. We had the bookmobile that used to come to the elementary school because the library was a good distance from my house. So they did days where they came to the school. And I would go up there and stay in there as long as that bookmobile was at that site. And I had read every book on the bookmobile. Gee, Diane, you should have flown to Cancun. Ha ha ha. Jill says, I tell people I enjoy people, but I also like my alone time. Yes. And don't go to Cancun. I went to Cancun. I didn't like my resort. I don't think I'm ever going back to Cancun. I just had a bad resort and it was the group that I went with, they wanted to go further out away from the airport and we went out maybe an hour to an hour and a half and then got out there and it was just too much for me. I couldn't do it. We had algae all in the ocean and stuff. It was a mess. So that made the pools be really jam packed, and I just couldn't. I just wasn't feeling it. So Rolling blackouts caused a lot of deaths. Wow, I hadn't heard that. Okay. They should have prepared for the worst. Jill Thomas says white noise tea. Yes. Diane says, this is the first, oh, this is Don saying to Diane, this is the first time I've ever heard of whole state of Texas going down. Yes, this is the first time I've heard of something like that too. Alice Parra says, what tone on tone mean or look like? This red on top is a tone on tone. And you can even get more textured. And that purple on the bottom, both of these are still considered to be tone on tones, really. But the purple on the bottom is really a tone on tone. This right here is kind of a red with a pink. It's a light red with a light pink. But it could get away as a tone on tone as well. So anything, it can have a print to it. But when you're all said and done, the purple on the bottom is a tone on tone. So they can have some texture to them, but still read as solids. So both of these are considered tone on tone. One just has more texture than the other. And Don says, I love seafood. Just saw a lady that's 111 years old, lives near the Blue Ridge Mountains, got the COVID-19 vaccine. Say she's the secret to long life is drinking wine, beer, and eat what you want. Yes, and that was the same thing with my grandmother that lived to be 96. And they talked about how bad fried foods was. And it's like, well, how did they get to live to be that old? And she's not the only one in my family that got to live that old, live that long eating whatever they wanted. But she did, as she got into her, what, 70s maybe, she started changing because she wasn't preparing her own foods anymore. She started getting Meals on Wheels and things like that just because it was offered at her age. So, but yeah, so it's just amazing to me. I think part of what's killing us is how they're prepping our foods. We got all these pesticides and stuff in our food chain. And I think that's what's causing the problem, not necessarily what we're eating all the time. Because I haven't had a good watermelon in years. I don't know what they did to watermelon to mess up watermelon, but I haven't had a good one in years. Billy says, yes, even hubby made sure we had propane for fireplace. I thought he was nuts. But with the electric on 20 minutes on and 20 minutes off, I was glad he did, so we stayed warm. That's awesome. Texas hasn't seen this kind of weather since 1885. Oh my God. Then don't come to Maryland. Seafood haven, yes. Yes. She don't really like seafood that much, just fish, and not too many kinds of fish. That's funny. I'll eat all kinds of fish, cooked all kinds of ways. So, but I still like fish. Still is better fried. Certain fish is still better fried. But I will eat grilled fish, and I'll eat other types of seafood. I'm not one of those people. I don't buy lobster. Now this is strange because I just didn't get into lobster. It just seemed like it's just a longer way to get into a shrimp. And the same thing with crabs. I can eat crab. I eat crab cakes. But I just don't go buy crab legs because I don't want to go through all that work. And it's like I could have had a shrimp and it would have been easier. So it's the same similar taste to me for less than doing all that work. So I'm real funny about that. But I do eat a lot of seafood. My husband won't even eat canned tuna. And I like shark too. I like shark and I like alligator. Yeah, just bring it. Tiffany says, I only eat tuna and cod sometimes, but really don't like seafood, especially the smell. The smell isn't that great, but I get over it because I know I'm going to get something good in the end. So, yes, their lack of preparedness caused many deaths. Wow, some froze to death. Just think, too, of all the animals. Yep. And it's pretty much the same color on a color. My mother is 96 and on her way to 97. Yeah, Sheila. Don't forget you can share photos of your projects with the Teaquilts community on Facebook. She's giving you the link. Thank you, Tiffany, for that. Um, Let me see. Jill says it's easier to say that I'm allergic to seafood than say I don't like it. I think it's a mental thing. Well, that must be my husband too. That is funny. Maryland crab cakes, my favorite. Yes, and I love crab cakes. And I'll even eat crab cakes from the can. Uh, Not salmon cakes. I'll eat salmon cakes, but I'll eat crab cakes, salmon cakes, any of it. I'll eat it from fresh or can. It doesn't matter. I just love seafood. And that's one of the reasons why it's difficult for me, because if I cook seafood, then I have to find something else to cook for my husband because he doesn't eat it. So I don't eat it as much as I like because of him. So when Kevin told me, let's go eat, I'm like, well, we could go there. And there's also, what's the other place that people go to? I'm blocking the name of it. It's a national chain of seafood place where you can get like the bucket of stuff. Um, I'm just blocking right now, but I haven't been there in so long. And then I also have been to Papa Do's whenever I travel. They don't have that here, but I like that too. I fully agree with you, T. Watermelon isn't the same. The GMO seeds may produce hardier crops, but they are not natural and they don't taste the same. Yes, it's like there is no taste to it. And so I don't want to be bothered with the watermelon. And I've tried getting it from farms, local farms, or when they come to the farmers' meats, and it's still horrible. I hate it. If fish is fresh, then it shouldn't have a fishy smell. That's true because it does make a difference. Except if you're getting it like straight off the pier, it's all fishy. Billy says love fried catfish. I like fried catfish. I like fried halibut. I can eat grilled halibut. Yeah, I just love seafood. Uh, Fish and chips. We have Joe's Crab Shack. That's it. We got Joe's Crab Shack that came into St. Peter's, and it's the only one that I'm aware of in this area. So that's also a place that Kevin and I can go. I love fried shrimp. So fried fish. That's Diane. And Kathleen is saying good night and God bless. So we only got 12 more minutes to go for official live time. So good night to those that want to go off. I'm just gonna prep some more white pieces here. And at some point, I'll count how many pieces I have so I can know how many more I need to cut before I start putting pieces together. Because I definitely want to make sure my borders are scrappy and not end up with a border that's only using 2 or 3 fabrics. Wouldn't be balanced very well. When I started, I only cut like 4 pieces of each fabric because I just wanted to get some started so I could sew. But I'll go back and cut some more pieces when I know how many I need. I got to do some designing. I could sit and pick crabs all day. See, that's like, I'll eat sunflower seeds, but that's what crabs remind me of is sunflower seeds. When I'm ready to eat, I'm ready to eat at that point. Um, Yeah, South Carolina has a lot of seafood places too. I'm gonna yell at my son to bring me a cupcake. Food talk made me hungry, but I didn't want to leave my warm bed. That's funny. That's right, girl. Do what you gotta do. You the mama. Let's get these all turned to the right side. So when I come back in, they'll be ready to go. As a kid, we would go down to the pier when the shrimpers came in and they would give us lots of shrimp. The Molly says, good night, everyone. Peace and love. Stay warm. Good night. Thank you so much for coming. And Glen Burnie is about 60 miles from me. So, yes. So, I think I'm just going to leave this stuff here. I don't want to mix up these two stacks anyway. I guess I could sew some more for a few minutes. But I don't want to mix the stacks up yet. I want to see how many I have in the stacks to see if it's enough to do one side because I, I only got one piece and one of the fabrics in each little stack I pulled out. I kept them separated. So I'll try to keep my half square triangle separated like that. But we'll see. Still got this one on the machine I gotta press open. Janice Miller says, I never got to go fishing with my dad. Couldn't be still or quiet. Yes, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to go because I'm a kid. When you're doing something, I have questions. I'm trying to understand what's going on, and they didn't want me to talk. So it's like if you're gonna take me somewhere and I want to know why you're doing this and why you're doing that, you can't just fish and ignore me. My mom didn't. She hated it. She wouldn't do it anymore. She's like, nope, you stay home. Diane, house rule number one: mom is always right. Rule number two: refer to rule number one. Darlene says, I have tried. No patience for fishing. Me either. I'm like, you just hurry up. We're hurrying up to go sit and wait. It's like, it is so many things that I could be doing. Cheryl says, good night, all. See you Wednesday. Stay warm and stay safe. Good night, Cheryl. I would have normally ended, but I'm like, you can sew a few more seams. That'll be a few more seams I have done. Just wasting time now. But I'm glad to have you with me. Crabbing is a lot different. Dad will walk off and leave us sitting there fishing, but I love fishing. Nope, I went canoeing once, and we went on the long hike. I mean, the long pass, and the boat flipped over. And the first couple of times, the other people got out, and then it got flipped over. No, it got stuck. So a couple of times, other people got out when it got stuck. Then it got stuck the third time, and they looking at me saying, it's your turn. I'm like, my turn for what? You got to get the boat. You got to get into the water and get the boat unstuck. I said, okay, I got out, got the boat unstuck, and I said, I'm never coming again. I did not sign up for that. Nobody told me that. No more canoeing. Darlene says, yes, I like going crabbing because I love eating blue crabs. Laughing out loud. I like crabbing too. Taught my girls how to fish and crab. And my mom being a, a chef, she eats anything. I'm like, I just can't eat that. She eats anything. So we only got a few more minutes left. Anybody got anything they want to share? What's the status of your projects? Did you all finish what you were working on tonight? Elwin says, good night, all. I so enjoyed the chat while I did handwork. Now I'm hungry. Yes. And that's what I got to go do next is eat. But I got leftovers from yesterday. So that's good. No, it's late here. I'm not finished. Right. You won't finish anything. At least you moved it a few steps further along. Or even just like in my case, got a few pieces sewed. So some pieces sewed is better than none. My quilt top got finished. That's nice. Congratulations, Jill. Good job. I got to sit down tomorrow and computerize some labels because this is ridiculous how long these quilts have been waiting for me to do bindings. And when I'm sitting resting, deciding I'm not going to do anything else, I could at least be sewing on those bindings. That is ridiculous. So maybe tomorrow I will make myself program some labels. Ray says, well, I'm going to say good night. Stay safe. Good night, brother. See you. Benita says, good night, everyone. Hope to see you Wednesday. Good night, Benita. Who else? Diane 57 says, there are lots of things I can't eat. I did get the first row together. That's good. Progress. Chumney says, I actually didn't sew anything today in the daylight hours. I did, however, make a bag for my mints at 3 a.m. Now, that's funny. That's cute, though. I bet it was cute. Deborah Cook says, good night, all. Stay safe and warm. Good night, Deborah. See ya. I'll talk to you tomorrow. June says, good night, all. Too lazy to sew tonight. We'll start something different. Well, you got your project done. That was pretty cool. Alice says, T, thank you for motivating to get back to my sewing machine. Good night to all. Thank you. You're so welcome. Appreciate you being here. And Claudette says, good night, everyone. Tiffany says, it's got quilt blocks on the fabric print. That's nice. So, yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and end. We're like 1 minute out. So, I'm going to go ahead and end here. Leave all my pretty stuff here for when I return so I can finish this stack. And I will see you all on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our regular 1 hour chat. Hopefully, My post office will be open by next Wednesday. And if it's open on Monday, I'll just post something in the Facebook group just to let people know that I have some packages. I'm not going to say who they are, but at least that I'll have some packages hopefully on Monday. If not, I'm going to have to start calling people. But see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay blessed, and quilt out.